We are going to kick off. So hello, everyone, and welcome. We hope you're all well. Just want to thank you for joining our Autodesk OEM Innovators Forum today. We know how busy you all are, and we greatly appreciate you taking the time to join us. My name is Ray Bass, and I oversee partner development for our OEM team here in North America at TechSoft 3D. And today we'll be running through our Innovators Forum along with our preferred development partner, AMC Bridge. So first, I would just quickly like to run through our agenda for the next 45 minutes to an hour. We are going to start with a brief introduction to our company, TechSoft 3D, followed by a presentation from our preferred development partner, AMC Bridge. We will run through the benefits of leveraging these OEM platforms, followed by a technical presentation of both AutoCAD OEM and Inventor OEM. And we will also be showing you how to introduce IFC support to your OEM applications and or AutoCAD plugins. And we will wrap up with an offer to you, and thanks for your joining today, as well as field any questions that you have. So please, if anything comes up, just jot them down. We'll have plenty of time to answer any and all questions at the end. Today, you will be hearing from David Grieve, the director of our OEM team here at TechSoft 3D. David has been working in the industry for more than 20 years now, holding positions at Navisworks and Autodesk, in addition to leading our OEM team for the past decade. I also have the pleasure of introducing Jerry Udy, Director of Business Development for AMC Bridge. Jerry too has extensive experience working in the field, more than 25 years, and as you will see, AMC Bridge has worked with just about every single one of the major CAD companies out there at some point in time on one or multiple of their development initiatives. You will then be hearing from our internal technical expert and senior consulting engineer, Paavo Rantanen. Paavo has been working with the Object ARX API since the first days of AutoCAD MEP, so know that technically you're in great hands, and I would guess that what Paavo does not know about OEM, we could likely fit on the back of a postage stamp. And not pictured, but I also want to mention our senior marketing manager, Jen Gartz. She will be the MC for our forum today, and we really could not have put this together without her. So for our team at TechSoft 3D, what asked, what gets you up in the morning and excites you? There are a lot of ways we could answer that question, but no matter what we've said and what we've come up with, it has always led to one overarching idea that we are driven to fuel innovation. So what does that mean? For us as a software toolkit supplier, we really must rely on shared success. We can only be successful when you, our partners, are successful. And our success is literally dependent upon our toolkits enabling you to create products that are truly leading the way in your field. And because of this shared success model, you may notice we will very intentionally, we will never say that we have a customer here at TechSoft. We pursue partners, not customers, and we engage and believe in strategic technology partnerships. And in terms of partnership, this is the sense that we truly are partners. Again, we are not just a technology vendor, and you are not just a customer. We very intentionally use the word partnership to describe our relationship. And that is one thing that we think makes TechSoft 3D different from other companies licensing SDKs out there, is that we are not just solely a supplier of technology. We will not simply sell you technology and move on. We are going to serve as your strategic technology partner and are committed to helping you not only compete, but win in your respective markets. Across every part of the company, across every person, we want and really need you, our partners, to be successful. And we believe that having a partnership with us will position you to do so. And because of this approach, our partnerships typically last for decades. You dictate what is important, and we will help you achieve it. So I'd now like to cover the Hoops toolkits that we develop in-house, and note that when we say Hoops, we mean a hierarchical object-oriented picture system. No, not basketball, although I am sure we are all ready for some form of live entertainment to return. So starting on the left here, we have Hoops Exchange, and this toolkit is for accessing CAD data. So file reading, writing, translation, and so on. Hoops Exchange is the world's best engineering toolkit for CAD file transfers and CAD file interoperability. And right now we support the exchange of over 30 major CAD file formats. Moving over to the middle, we also offer Hoops Visualize and Hoops Communicator. These are our 3D graphics engines that can really power almost any 3D software that is out there today. Hoops Visualize and Hoops Communicator are, in short, high-performing, high-quality graphics engines for desktop, web, and mobile engineering applications. And Hoops Visualize was actually our flagship product, but I will speak on that in a second. And the fourth toolkit that we develop in-house on the far right is Hoops Publish. Publish allows you to output data for downstream consumption, so people who are not involved in the main engineering application, but will of course still need to see that data, either in a viewer or a free browser viewer, can. And Hoops Publish can do this through HTML, 3D PDF, and other standard CAD formats. And this is just a partial list of the few hundred companies that license our Hoops technologies. They include companies like Autodesk, in addition to other big names like Siemens, Dassault and SolidWorks, PTC, Bentley. And as you may notice, we also work with a number of mid-sized companies and some very interesting startups. And a funny fact about the Hoops Visualize product is that our 4 founders originally licensed this technology from Autodesk back in 1996. Autodesk saw Hoops as a necessary technology within their applications, but did not see the market potential for licensing it out to other companies as an SDK. Fortunately, our 4 founders did, and here we are standing tall 25 years later. And funny enough, Carl Bass actually credited them and our company for this long-term vision last year at a Tech Talk that we hosted in San Francisco, which was really just, a nice tip of the cap. So due to the success we had with these Hoops products, along with our Switzerland-like neutrality in the industry, Autodesk approached us to resell another one of their technologies in 2009, their OEM development platforms. So today, we are very pleased to be able to offer the AutoCAD OEM and Inventor OEM development platforms. And I know most of you are quite familiar with these technologies, and David Grief will talk more about why our partners choose to work with them, but I will explain where they fit into our product portfolio. So a developer working with our Hoops technologies is going to have a lot of work they need to do to reach a shipping product. They'll need to write much more application level functionality. They'll need to leverage a solid modeling kernel, a constraints engine, a UI, and overall do much, much more. Over time, we noticed that there were plenty of developers when starting at the level of our Hoops SDKs just really didn't make sense. We still, of course, wanted to help these companies build innovative products and successful businesses, and being able to add these OEM platforms to our portfolio allowed us to do just that. So comparatively, when you are working with these OEM platforms, you are starting at a very high level with a virtually complete application. You remove functionality your users won't need, add your own custom functions and routines, and you'll very quickly have a ready-to-ship product. Of course, I am oversimplifying this by a bit, but really, as you will see, not by much. And sometimes developers prefer going this Hoops route to differentiate their product at a higher level. However, there are plenty of companies out there, just like yourselves, who want and need to start with a much more complete platform with pre-built CAD functionality, an established UI, and not have to reinvent the wheel. So adding these OEM products to our portfolio was really a win-win, as it better positioned us to fuel innovation for a wider range of software teams. And today we have about 110 companies leveraging these OEM platforms, but it really is hard to say that we have a typical OEM partner. Some of our partners are very large companies doing internal development. Some are companies that make things, like a lighting system. Then they will need to write a software product to complement their hardware. And others are general software companies. And the industries that these partners are within ranges from kitchen and cabinetry design to optical beam design to land surveying and even underground mining. But the one thing that all these companies do have in common, regardless of their industry, is that they leverage these OEM platforms to create an application specialized to their specific market, a market that they understand deeply, where AutoCAD, for example, may be too generic of a tool, but with the catered added functionality from experts like you, it becomes something of massive value to a specific target market. So again, I just quickly wanted to thank you for joining us today. We hope you find the time to be valuably spent. And now Jen is going to take over for a quick poll, And then we are very pleased to be passing off to Jerry Udy, Director of Business Development from our preferred development partner, AMC Bridge.
Great. Thanks so much, Ray. Good morning, everyone from Pacific Coast in the US. So, all right, here is our first poll. What did you learn while in quarantine? Let everybody vote for a second. Always interesting to see what people feel like they learned. All right. Still coming in. I'm going to end the polling. All right. So I do love this, that the majority of people learn patience. So well done, everyone. I'll turn it over to Jerry.
All right. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Ray. Hi, everyone. It's good to be with you. I'm Jerry Udy, and I am the Director of Business Development for AMC Bridge. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you today about building amazing applications using the Autodesk OEM platform and how AMC Bridge can help you to do it quickly and effectively, adding value to your business and enabling you to capitalize on upcoming growth opportunities. During my presentation today, I'll give you a brief introduction to AMC Bridge, highlight some of the key reasons why our clients select us and keep using us, then talk about some of the Autodesk OEM applications we've helped our clients build, and finally, talk about what an engagement with us might look like. So to get started then, AMC Bridge specializes in helping companies build engineering-related software applications. We do this by providing resources for the design, development, and testing of those applications. We've been doing this successfully for 20 years, are a US-based company, and have almost 600 software engineering professionals in 5 development centers in Ukraine. We've known and worked with TechSoft 3D for most of those 20 years and are proud to be a strategic alliance partner of theirs. We're equally proud to claim them as a client. We've learned from our clients over the years that they choose AMC Bridge because we are more than just a source for software development talent. When using a third-party development partner, there are typically 5 main areas of challenge, question, or concern that need to be successfully addressed in order to have a productive relationship. Our clients would tell you that while we're not perfect, we do a pretty good job of not only understanding and contributing technically, but helping clients satisfy their business goals and timing and capitalize on market opportunities. Good communication is essential, and we insist on regular and effective communication to keep teams moving forward, avoiding unwanted detours, and making sure that we are aligned throughout the engagement. We select resources not only for their technical expertise, but to be compatible with your organization and your company culture. We've implemented systems, management processes, and legal instruments to protect your investment. Any work we do belongs to you. We've worked with many companies over the years that compete directly with one another, so protecting your IP is central to our business. Another area of concern is always cost, and feedback from our customers is that we're a great value, and that while we're not the least expensive or most expensive, we've certainly helped them to create their applications more effectively in a fraction of the time and at a fraction of the cost than it would take to do it themselves and compared to other providers they've used. We are growing, healthy, and stable. We're very proud of the fact that we've been able to maintain an attrition rate of about 5% while growing at about 25% a year for the last 5 years. That means great team stability for you for the life of your projects. We have a reputation for quality. We've invested in university relationships, training, internal research, and professional development that have proven effective in creating exceptional developers and team leaders. We're experienced and effective in using most, if not all, of the languages, tools, and platforms needed to build your applications. As I mentioned, we focus mainly on technologies utilized in engineering-related applications. Some of the application areas are shown here, along with some of the clients we've worked with in those areas. You'll note that many of these areas are compatible with applications you might build using Autodesk OEM. Our customers range from independent software vendors creating applications to license, to companies building applications for internal use or to complement a product or service. We've also helped customers deliver on contracts from government entities or other research organizations. We work with clients large and small, industry leaders and startups, but more importantly, I hope you see that we most likely have experience in a market where you do business or would like to. Perhaps you see an industry need that is not addressed by existing applications. Autodesk OEM and AMC Bridge are great options for satisfying that need in a timely fashion. Now, even with 20 years experience, we're still learning and adapting, but thankfully we're doing a few things right. Most of our clients come to us via recommendation from others, and once engaged, they continue to utilize us and are willing to recommend us to others. Our success is based on producing quality software in a professional manner at a great value. So what have we done specifically with Autodesk technologies? While we work with many different platforms and software component toolkits, we have extensive experience with the OEM platforms for AutoCAD and Inventor, as well as the TechSoft family of products. In fact, a scan of AMC Bridge projects over the last 5 years results in over 200 engagements where Autodesk and TechSoft platforms, solutions, and technologies were used. And we've been assisting various Autodesk product teams with core technology development for almost a decade. AutoCAD and Inventor APIs were used to build applications in over 50 of these engagements. As you might expect, some of these engagements resulted in applications for product design, simulation, manufacturing, and viewing. But you'll see from this partial listing of applications that created using AutoCAD and Inventor APIs that they are very diverse and dispersed between mechanical and architectural CAD. They also vary in discipline from piping to hotel capacity planning, biomechanics to AR/VR, and manufacturing cost estimation to product configurators. You can have confidence in using AMC Bridge to help you create your application regardless of the industry or function. Should you engage with us, it would most likely be on a dedicated team basis where we supplement your existing team or on a project-by-project basis. Most engagements start with a discovery or proof of concept stage where requirements are gathered, foundational questions are answered, and a development plan is created. This stage can take a few days to a few weeks depending on the complexity of the application. Then we would transition to the development and release stage where the bulk of development and testing takes place. This can take a few weeks to a number of months depending on complexity. Most Autodesk OEM applications are delivered within a few months. Once your application is released, we are positioned to help you with ongoing support, bug fixes, and maintenance should you have that need, as well as subsequent versions and upgrades. As you consider using Autodesk OEM for your next application, we hope you'll consider using AMC Bridge as a great way to quickly and cost-effectively create sophisticated, commercial-ready applications that will help you take advantage of today's fluid economic and market conditions. Please feel free to contact me if you have questions or would like to discuss further. Thanks for your time today. Enjoy the rest of the forum. The TechSoft 3D team has some great information for you. And now I'm going to turn the time back to Jen.
Great, thanks so much, Jerry. All right, here we go. Second poll. What do you think is the average time in man months required to build a new product from scratch? It's always interesting to see the results on this one. Just about everybody's voted. Well, at least we know that people feel like it does take a little bit longer than 1 or 2 months. All right, over to you, David.
Thank you, Jen. I'm David Grieve here at TechSoft 3D. I'm director for the OEM partner development team. And I'm going to talk to you today about why OEM, and more specifically, why you should build your next CAD-based project using AutoCAD OEM or Inventor OEM. So I think the first thing I want to talk about is Autodesk and how they are the market leader today. I've been in this industry for 20 years, and what I've seen them doing with their product in the last 5 years in terms of the technology, they're moving it and getting it ready to deliver it through a browser. They're making steps along that way, and they want to be first to do this. They don't want to be second or third, sorry. And they're also getting their business model ready, and they started that 5 years ago when they made the very dramatic and bold switch away from perpetual licenses to subscription. And that meant they lost money for a couple of years, but as you can see now, that is paying off. 5 years ago, their revenue was $2 billion per year. Now their annual recurring revenue from subscription sales is 3.4 billion, and actually their bookings is higher at 4.2, and they grew by over 30% last year and should do very well this year as well, even during these difficult times. We can't really go into this without talking about AutoCAD, because AutoCAD still today is the most widely used CAD platform in the world. It's everywhere, it's ubiquitous, it's in every market, every vertical that you visit, you will find AutoCAD being used. And you will find their file format, DWG, being used in those markets as well. And that's incredibly important if you're going to build a product that's not only built on AutoCAD, so for people who are familiar with using it, but also outputs, reads and writes, DWG files, native DWG files as well. The software is very stable. Both Inventor and AutoCAD OEM are extremely stable technologies. They've been in the market for a long time, so they don't have any major bugs. They're unlikely to give you any issues whatsoever. But also I wanted to mention the stability of the company, because if you're going to build your next project based on an Autodesk product, you want to know that the company's going to be here in 5, 10, 20 years time, because that's a very important decision for you when you start on a big project like this. So one of the things that Autodesk did that was very smart was make all of their APIs and SDKs for their CAD products freely available for everybody to use. They also created an organization within their company called the Autodesk Developer Network, or the ADN. And that organization is just there to help you as a software developer create successful applications based on their standard platforms. That has meant there's an enormous wealth of knowledge out there now, many hundreds and thousands of developers that already know how to use the Autodesk platforms. And because they've got blogs and forums and lots of online means to talk to each other, if you run into a problem that you can't solve easily, you can always post that on a forum and you will definitely get an answer and a fix to your problem. And that's very reassuring when you're starting out on a project, to know that you're not going to get to any major roadblocks that are going to stop you or something like that. So I want to run through today 6 reasons why you should consider building your next CAD-based project on AutoCAD OEM or Inventor OEM. And number one of those is the ability to completely customize the application. So both AutoCAD and Inventor OEM come with wizards that guide you through a process that lets you rebrand them, from changing the splash screen to changing the logo in the top left-hand side, inserting your own licensing system, changing the whole look and feel of the software to enable you to control the whole product experience that your customers are going to get. So I've got two examples here. This is Datafloor. They do landscape design software, and this is their splash screen that's very much their own. It has got one small logo in there, which you've obviously noticed, powered by Autodesk AutoCAD OEM, and that is the only stipulation from Autodesk. And I don't know one partner that doesn't want that on their splash screen, because it gives them real credibility and says, I've got a real AutoCAD engine in my software. This is their actual product. You can see it's very much a landscape design going on. And it has their own ribbon at the top, and then at the side, a quick menu for navigating through their custom objects and tree structure. Another example, very different, is AutoCAM from Germany, who do a very specialist robot programming software for automatically welding components, for example. You can see they have a very different looking ribbon along the top. They've gone for the dark mode within their software that gives it a very distinct look and feel. You can obviously customize the features through the APIs, and AutoCAD has several APIs that you can use. Gives you infinite possibilities to be able to create your own features and put your own special source in there. The other thing is you have an enormous wealth of CAD functions to draw on, pretty much everything you'll ever need, so you don't have to bother creating them yourself. And that's one of the reasons people choose an OEM solution, is because they don't have to write their own CAD. It's all there already. Why invent the wheel? The other thing that it lets you do is remove features, and that's incredibly important because it enables you to take away stuff that's not relevant for your industry, not relevant for your customers, and it makes a much sleeker and streamlined application. And at the end, it's simplified and it's easier to use and it's better. You can customize your business model as well. So we've heard how Autodesk have changed their business model, but you choose which one suits you. So if you would like to use a perpetual licensing business model, that's down to you. If you would like to use subscription, that's also down to you. If you'd like to use a mixture of the both or some new solution that you think of, that's great as well. So, you're looking at building a new product, and the main reason people do this is they want to grow and expand their business. And one of the things about the OEM solutions is that the cost of entry is incredibly low. So, you've almost got a finished solution that you're starting with. You just heard from Ray the different hoops products that we do. If you were to create your solution using them, it would cost you a lot more and take you a lot longer and introduce a lot of potential risk. The other thing to remember is that these products are valuable. You've got a valuable CAD engine in there, and you can charge a little bit more for them as well. Now, you're probably thinking, great, I've got a product, I'm going to sell it into this Autodesk marketplace. But as we've just seen, you can brand this as your own software. So it becomes CAD system agnostic. It can be sold to any of the CAD marketplaces that are out there, because there's no opposition to that any longer. So for example, a CATIA house might normally be resistant to having a product that's based on AutoCAD in their company. But with your own branded software, that's not the case, and they're very happy to welcome it in there. That means you can address all of these markets with just one development stream rather than many. The other development area that's not on there, or market that's not on there, are the non-CAD users. So you also heard how you can simplify the application. You can make it so easy to use that non-CAD users that are not traditional can use the software. That broadens your marketplace. They may want to do a bit of simple checking, maybe some very simple editing, but that's all you let them do. And again, it grows your market and makes it bigger. And the last bit of this is the speed to market, how fast you can get your product to market. As I've mentioned, it's almost a finished product. And what we reckon, if you're starting from a plugin application, which is where you need to start from for both AutoCAD OEM and Inventor OEM, the time to market is measured in weeks. Our best being 2 weeks, but typically we recommend that developers will spend 4 to 8 weeks getting their product ready for market using AutoCAD OEM or Inventor OEM. And that means you're going to get a return on your investment very quickly. So the less time spent developing, the quicker you're going to get your money back and start selling that product through. At the end of the day, the wizard actually creates for you a ready to distribute deployment package that can be immediately uploaded onto your website, and you can start selling it and getting your revenue and return. I've got one last point before I leave you, and that is during this period of lockdown, I've spent a lot of time talking to the owners and CEOs of our OEM partners. And what I've found, one overriding thing that I've seen, is the successful companies, the companies that are going to come through this successfully and have come through other periods of difficulty successfully, are the people that are doing something. If you don't do anything, then you might not do so well. You might have a freeze on headcount at the moment, but you don't have a freeze on ideas. So now is the time to invest in new ideas and bring those to fruition. So please, if you've got a great idea, come and talk to AMC Bridge afterwards. Come and talk to us afterwards about how you could make that happen through an OEM and development solution with the two of us. Okay, I'm going to hand you back over to Jen, who's got another poll for us.
I sure do. Thanks, David. All right, what do you consider as prime factors when investing in new and or existing CAD software technologies? And you can actually do multiple choice on this one. Let's give it a second or so. Alrighty, still coming in. All right. Apparently everyone finds the extensive API for customization very important. Cool, thanks. All right, over to you, Pavo.
Thanks, Jen. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Paavo Rantanen, and as you could hear from Ray's introduction, I'm a technical resource at TechSouth3D, supporting our partners, licensing the Autodesk technology from us, and also supporting this team. I will start by giving you an overview of the AutoCAD OEM developer platform. I would first like to ask you, Jen, to chime in if the audio is not okay, and I'll handle and advance the video manually. Let's hope this goes well. AutoCAD is the most widely used CAD program in the world, used by architects, project managers, engineers, graphic designers, city planners, and other professionals. The software was first released in 1982 and has since then evolved with new techniques and technologies that were unheard of when computer-aided design first started back in the 60s. AutoCAD has had a global presence from the very beginning, supporting several non-English languages, different locales, and common standards, as well as industry-specific standards. AutoCAD OEM, just like AutoCAD, supports several APIs for customization and automation with the purpose of extending and tailoring the functionality of the core product. There are thousands of products built on this technology for a vast number of specific fields. It represents a well-established technology in all aspects, already familiar to designers, engineers, and developers, many of whom built their career with expertise on the AutoCAD product. As AutoCAD and the different verticals based on AutoCAD are end-user products, AutoCAD OEM is made for developers. It is a complete development platform containing all the components, tools, and utilities needed for customization, branding, licensing, and deploying an end-user product ready to ship. AutoCAD OEM includes the AutoCAD core engine. You see many of the features, commands, and utilities captured in this video 2D drafting, 3D modeling, rendering, model display, and viewing modes, paper space layouts, plotting features, support for common CAD formats, user features, and user interaction for creating, editing, comparing design content, all based on DWG as well as other formats. AutoCAD OEM has tools for customization shown in this video with samples from our existing partners to extend the core product, change the native behavior, remove unwanted features, apply a custom workflow, add and connect external components and resources, customize user documentation, apply your own licensing, tools for branding and appearance, unique identity by assigning product and company names, apply your own look and feel easily by changing buttons, icons, menus, and visual appearance. AutoCAD OEM has tools for creating a complete distributable package. Specify, package, and build a complete deployment with one tool. Apply your own branding, supply your own documentation, system requirements, README files, license agreement, distribute globally using channels of your choice. Business model and licensing model independent of Autodesk. Support 9 languages. This technology that has been evolving for 30 years, enhanced and improved by thousands of software designers, engineers, third-party developers, and a user community of millions. Make it your own. Since AutoCAD and AutoCAD OEM are not BIM compliant products, we offer developers IFC support to build into your OEM product or your AutoCAD plugin. I will give you an overview of that as well. The IFC reader or BIM manager consists of several custom ARX modules for vanilla AutoCAD and AutoCAD OEM. They will provide read access to IFC files from within AutoCAD or your custom AutoCAD OEM application. The IFC module lets you read IFC files into the drawing session. The IFC content is presented in a tree structure where you can navigate and examine the IFC contents. All IFC data available in the file is presented and can be queried with several UI features. Using the tool, you can also create native DWG entities from the IFC files read into the BIM manager. The generated DWG entities will be assigned typical CAD properties like names, layers, colors, and line types according to the properties found in the IFC files. This reader supports IFC 2x3 and IFC 4 and has a Building Smart accreditation for import of IFC 2x3 files. We are currently working on additional features to provide full BIM compliance by adding IFC writing along with the current functionality. AutoCAD is so widely used because it's suitable for almost any sort of CAD design. However, Inventor technology is developed specifically for mechanical and manufacturing requirements. I will give you an overview of the Inventor OEM platform. Inventor OEM is a developer toolkit for creating niche, standalone software based on Autodesk Inventor technology. Inventor includes features like direct and parametric edit, freeform modeling tools, as well as photorealistic rendering shown in the captures throughout this video. Automated part design, dynamic simulation and stress analysis, as well as multi-CAD translation capabilities. It allows for 2D and 3D data integration in one single environment. With a rich set of 3D mechanical design and simulation tools, Inventor is targeting primarily the manufacturing industry. The purpose of Inventor OEM is to enable ISV developers to leverage selected Inventor functionality and add custom features and behavior to the core Inventor engine. Using a configurator tool provides means of naming and complete custom branding of the product. The OEM configurator also lets you build your ready-to-distribute deployment package, including only the binaries and components you choose to include. Make Inventor technology your own. And by that, I will hand over to Jen for another poll.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. The last poll. So are you planning any development projects in the next 12 months? We've done a couple of these webinars, and it's been really interesting to see that people are still planning on development projects. And at the beginning, it was definitely not sure at this time, but it's been really interesting to see what everyone's results are. I'll give you just another second. And again, really interesting. So, you know, like I said, we've done not just this webinar, but other webinars. It's definitely shifted from not sure at this time back to yes. So very cool to see that. And I will go back over to Ray.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen, and thank you, Pavo. So again, as we mentioned at the beginning, and thanks for your joining today, both we at TechSoft 3D and AMC Bridge are prepared to make an offer to you. So we at TechSoft 3D are offering a 50% discount on your first year's partnership fees. So that will be €4,000 as opposed to the typical €8,000. And if you choose AMC Bridge as your OEM development partner, AMC is offering a 50% credit from the discovery or proof of concept phase that will be credited towards your development phase. And we at TechSoft will be offering a 25% discount on royalties for life. So that literally will extend. If our partnership goes for 20 years, that will last for 20 years. But please note, this valid is only offer until September 30th, 2020. So as David said, now is the time to bring these ideas to fruition, and we are more than happy to discuss any and all of them with you. So again, we thank you all for joining today. We hope you found the time to be valuably spent. And now if you have any questions, please note them in the QA section. Please do not type them into the chat. We might miss them if they're in the chat, but if you do put them in the QA, I promise you, we will take care of them.
Thank you, Ray. I'm going to read the questions out when you type them in, and I will pass them on to the relevant people or person to answer. So do have a question here straight away. Do I have a limitation to sell in certain geographies, or am I limited to Europe? I'll take that question. Sorry, I'll answer that question. So no, you can have it's a worldwide contract, so you can sell anywhere in the world. So you know, it's truly your full marketplace that you'd like to sell into. I've got another question here. Just read it through. Do you require deployment licenses for sales agents who use the application software for demonstration purposes? So I think what the question is really saying is, do we provide licenses for the sales agents? Well, actually, they'd be your sales agents or your channel sales agents, and it's really down to you how you provide that software. It's not chargeable. Doesn't make any sense to charge people to demonstrate software, and you'd be under the OEM agreement, you're able to supply as many licenses for demonstration purposes that you should wish to. I've got a question here. I'm going to direct that to Parvo. Does the IFC package BIM Manager also provide an IFC viewer? You can give us an idea.
So it does provide, in the sense that there is a tree structure which is not really graphical, but anything that is part of the IFC files, and in the tree structure, you can generate native DWG graphics from. They can be polylines, 3D solids, blocks, regions, and so anything you retrieve from the IFC file, you can generate inside the DWG or the AutoCAD OEM session or AutoCAD session. So in that sense, it's a viewer, but it's not a viewer. It doesn't have a viewer like the online BIM viewers that you can use. I hope that is answering the question, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got a question here saying OEM versus Forge. I think they're kind of asking what's the difference between OEM and Forge. So, Paavo, do you want to take a little bit of that and explain?
Yeah, I can explain. So, AutoCAD OEM, Inventor OEM, they are desktop products, right? The Forge platform offers web services APIs that help you access and use your design and engineering data on the cloud. So that is the difference, really. OEM is a desktop solution, Forge is web-based. And what I can say, yeah, I think, do you want to add something, David, to that?
No, I think the main difference is AutoCAD OEM and Inventor OEM. A desktop, Forge is a service that you buy, but it is hosted by Autodesk, so you can't host that yourself. So you have to be happy with an Autodesk hosted surface. Okay. I have another question here. Actually, it's 3 questions, so thank you very much. How did the development team reduce software creation from 9 months to 3 months by using TechSoft 3D? This was quoted at some slide. So I think that's the slide that I presented about Microvellum. And they had looked at, I think it's that slide. Yeah, they'd looked at an alternative solution and tried for maybe it was MineRP actually. I forget which slide, but they'd looked at an alternative solution. They couldn't, they spent 9 months and they barely got a working prototype. And then when they moved to OEM, they got something running in 3 months. I think that was the gist of it. And really it all comes back to the fact that with Inventor OEM and AutoCAD OEM, you're starting with an almost finished solution. So if you need a CAD-based product, I really wouldn't go out and reinvent the wheel again. You want to start with something that's already well-founded within the industry. Can you change the technical aspects of the CAD engine? For instance, only being able to run on a single core if you're using multi-core, if it uses a single core's capacity still. So, Paavo, maybe I think that's one for you. Whether you can choose.
So the short answer is no, not to the native CAD engine features, but anything you customize and add in terms of customization, you can spawn through several threads or design in whatever way you want to do. But the core engine is the same as in AutoCAD behavior.
Okay. And there's a third string to this question. Would the CAD OEM solution be as limited with 3D model design as AutoCAD? Or are you able to tweak this? Again, I think it's one for you, Paavo.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to repeat the question?
Okay, so no. Well, I don't know what you refer to in terms of limited, but in terms of native entities or 3D objects, you have exactly the same set of primitives for 3D design. In terms of features, you have exactly the same features of designing in 3D and viewing and whatever tasks you associate with 3D design inside AutoCAD. So there's no limitation in OEM versus vanilla AutoCAD. If you talk about other limitations, comparing perhaps with Inventor OEM for 3D design or freeform modeling or something like that, it's software, it's your product. You can add anything, any functionality to what comes out of the box with the white label product. So, but it's AutoCAD, yes.
Thanks, Paavo. I hope that's answered the question. I have another question. How do upgrades work? Do I have to upgrade my deployment licenses? So, Paavo, I'm sorry, it's all for you at the moment, but we will hopefully we get some ones that are for other people. Yep.
Okay. Sorry about the background noise. So there's a tool that creates your AutoCAD-like deployment installation package containing everything that you configure to include in your AutoCAD OEM or Inventor OEM product. And it's Microsoft MSI standard deployment, meaning that you can, if you know the technology, you can work with that. If you have tools for working on that technology, like Install Shield, you can use those. And you can apply version numbering for your software and provide patches or hot fixes in the pace and the way you see is proper for your users. So this is your product. If there is an update to the core engine or the AutoCAD OEM product, the same still applies. If you feel that this fix or service pack is critical for your end users, then you will just build a service pack or hotfix for your product and distribute it in any way you see fits best for your business model.
Okay, thank you. I hope that answered the question. I've got another question here. Will we get a demonstration of how OEM will benefit us? And will we get help creating a solution for our customer or a demo for our customer? If yes, will the demonstration proof of concept be paid or need to be paid? I think, Jerry, maybe that's one for you, Jerry, talking about proof of concept and how you might deal with that, that part of the discussion.
Well, for us, it typically depends on the questions to be answered. But if it requires the creation of a proof of concept, yes, that is a paid engagement. We would give you an estimate up front as to what that would cost. And again, per the offer that was there, we would then, should you decide to move forward after that proof of concept phase, we would credit 50% of that effort toward your development phase.
Good. Thank you, Jerry. That's good. I've got another question. I had to Google this. So, does the BIM manager support the BCF format? And I thought it might have been a spelling mistake, but it is a format. And if yes, import and export possible. So the BCF format, Paavo, is
BIM collaboration format.
Oh, you know more than me. Great.
Yeah. So it does. No, it's not supported. Yeah. So it supports IFC and IFC only. But I don't know if there are tools to work with the BCF format and extract IFC formats from that. I don't know how simple that is, but I can imagine there are online tools for managing your BIM collaboration project and these formats.
Okay.
And we don't have any plans of supporting that currently, no.
Yeah, we do have plans to have an IFC writer, which we hope to launch at the end of the year. So we'll have full IFC support, and it's extremely quick to implement. The IFC reader, we have good anecdotal evidence that it takes between 15 and 30 minutes to implement. So we're very optimistic about how fast people are going to be able to add their BIM compatibility into their AutoCAD-based solutions. I've got a crazy question here. It's a good question. I charge my customers an annual subscription. Okay. If one of my customers does not review their license, can I assign the client license I had assigned to them to a new customer? Well, it's kind of down to you because it's your software. And that's like really the way we always talk to people about OEM. It's your software. So you make those decisions. You know, you might want to charge somebody else, but it's your licensing system as well. So it's not really about assigning somebody else's license. It's down to you how you assign that software. Okay. So I've answered all the questions at the moment. If there's any more questions, please type them in to the question and answers box. I'm just checking the chat. I think we're good on that. We did record this session, by the way, and we will be sending a recording round afterwards to everybody who attended, and actually everybody who registered but didn't attend as well. So you'll be able to look through the recording and see if there's any bits you missed and wanted to check out them again. If you have any questions, you'd like to talk to us, get a demo, talk to MC Bridge about a development project, please come back to us. Details will be in the email that's sent around afterwards. And we wish you a very good afternoon and rest of the day. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.